What's good, y'all? So a lot of people have been hitting me up about growing microgreens lately. So what I decided to do was a quick series on YouTube, just kind of walking you guys through some of the easier ones for us. We got 4 that we'll be talking about: sunflower, broccoli, radish, and pea. Pretty much be step by stepping you guys all the way through on how we grow them and what you can expect along the way, really. This is going to be more so for beginners. However, we're going to be going through a lot of stuff. This is right about an 85-ounce scoop. Those of you guys that are seasoned microgreen growers, feel free to chime in down below and give your experience as well. But for the most part, this is just going to be like a beginner thing, really. For those of you guys that have been growing microgreens now for a while, send whatever challenging microgreens through my way, and either I'll let you know my experience with those microgreens, and if I haven't grown them yet, we'll grow them together to see if we can't find some kind of solution on how to grow. So we'll make this whole thing interactive. We'll have fun, we'll learn some stuff, and we'll keep it pushing. So anyway, with that, we get the majority of our seeds from True Leaf Market. You can just go online and type in what it is that you want there. We also go to Mums, we go to Handy Pantry, Sprout House. A lot of these you guys can actually find on Amazon in a pinch. It's another place I'll go as well if I need to hurry up, or if I can't find a specific seed on the other aforementioned websites. Oh, Kitazawa as well. The type of medium that I use here on the plot, here, I'll show you guys. This is my exact combo. Boom. So we'll use the Roots Organic 707 formula, as well as generally some sort of a coconut coir or a peat moss. For the most part, we do a coconut coir. That one's just coir, and then this one is actually more the black gold. This is the actual potty mix. I use these as a cut. Generally, it's only just a coir. However, sometimes I will use a coir as well as a perlite on top of the Roots Organic. That's for the most part just to cut cost. You can grow 100% Roots Organic. Just keep in mind that microgreens really don't need a lot of nutrients in order to grow. However, I have found that a little bit of nutrient actually will go a long way in your microgreen growth. Also, I've noticed a huge difference in the amount of time that it actually can last in the shelf. So the shelf life is increased, not to mention the flavor profile, in my opinion, has increased as well. However, with that being said, feel free to use just a coconut coir. Feel free to use pretty much whatever it is that you want. Microgreen pads, straight peat moss, pretty much whatever you want. I've grown microgreens on paper towels, y'all. They don't need a lot, because remember, you're only growing them for the first stages in which they don't require any real nutrients. However, that doesn't mean that they won't take up the nutrients. It just means that they don't require it. With the added nutrients, you'll find more than likely that you'll get a better quality at the end of the day. For the most part, most of the microgreens that we are talking about are going to actually just be right about 2 to 3 days to sprout. Overall, it's going to probably take you right about 7 to 9 days for them to be harvest ready. That's normally during the springtime, or when your temperatures are right in the 70s to 80 degree mark. We grow all of our microgreens outside. As you can see, we also take them inside the greenhouse. So if you're indoors, keep that in mind. You can kind of play around with your temperature there. It has a lot to do with the speed at which your microgreens are going to be growing. So if you're growing like on a bay window, a table, like inside of your house. One thing that I did want to mention too, because I've heard this more than once, when it comes to soil, just using peat moss by itself will ensure that you won't get mold. Don't trust that. A lot of these things like getting mold, what I've found a lot of times has to do with the way you're seeding them out, your airflow, things of that nature. Which leads me to the next one, airflow. Airflow is an important factor when it comes to growing microgreens. In our greenhouse, a lot of times we'll just end up turning on those fans. I don't know if you guys could really tell right now. There's really not that much in here. But out here we get pretty windy. So a lot of times I don't really have to do much. Can you see it blowing over there? So a lot of times out here, we don't really have to do a whole hell of a lot. But when we do need the airflow or more circulation because it's kind of stagnant out here, we'll go ahead and put the fans on. Actually, we're going to put more fans in here. You can get away with one of those little fans. You don't need a lot, especially if you're doing a small grow. Just one of those clip fans should do the trick. It could be argued there's definitely times where you don't want to turn your fans on. For the sake of argument and not really wanting to complicate things, having a fan on hand actually will probably do you pretty good. You could just put like a fan nearby your grow area, you know what I mean? You could put a little clip on here, clip it on right here, you can clip it on up here, and it's the idea is just keep your airflow moving across the top of your trays there. However, if you're like in a breeze area, you're like in your living room, you got people constantly walking past, you know what I mean, you may not need it there. Seeing that we are growing a lot of seeds in a very small container. Even us utilizing the standard trays, of course you can go to a bigger tray. We use a 1020 here, but you know, we're putting I don't know how many damn seeds in one of those trays. So with that being said, you kind of want to keep that in mind, that overloading your tray with seeds undoubtedly will lead you to problems. We'll go through all those and we'll tell you guys what it is that we use and how to make sure that you get the right amount of seeds for whatever receptacle that you're using throughout the videos. Microgreens, again, could be grown pretty much in anything. So if you have small trays, small pie tins, anything like that, you can even just use that at the top if you wanted to. I've grown microgreens in clamshells, like the take-home little carrier that they'll give you from restaurants. I've grown microgreens in those. I've grown microgreens, and of course, the 1020 trays. It's saying that you can pretty much grow microgreens in whatever it is that you want. Whole market mix trays. They become a greenhouse. Hold on. I'm gonna get rid of my beautiful background, man. The one thing that I definitely will say is you want to have at least 1 1/4 inch depth of soil, right? So from here to here, that's 1 1/4 inch of depth of soil. The amount right here, that really just depends on how many you want to grow,
How
right?
much?
But the depth, I would say that's probably the most crucial when it comes to microgreens. So that leads us to watering your microgreens, right? You're only dealing with a small amount of soil here. Therefore, you want to keep in mind that microgreens need to be watered at least once a day, really depending on the temperature, really depending on where it is that you're at, really depending on the humidity. All these things, especially at the very beginning, might sound like overwhelming, but I promise you, they're not. Just pretty much stay to watering once a day and you should be cool. We use a 1 1/4 inch tray, or a 1 inch tray, you'll hear them referred to as. We also use 2 inch trays. The 1 1/4 inch trays all have holes on the bottom of them. See that? While the 2 inch trays don't. Not all of them, some of them do, but not all of them. Happen to go to a hydroponic shop or whatever, that's where we get all those. If you happen to go there, chances are you're going to find the ones without holes. You can do something like that and put holes in them. You can find the ones with holes. You just have to go online and do a little bit of research. Look on Amazon. I will tell you, however, you're going to find a lot more trays that don't have holes, just because for the most part, these types of trays are often used in cloning or seed propagation, let's just say that. A lot of times what people end up doing is using like blocks, be it rock wool or cocoa coir or whatever, and they put them inside of this, and then they just fill that up and use this whole tray more so as a reservoir. Those substrates will wick up the moisture from there. So a lot of times you're not going to find those with holes. However, like I just showed you, they do exist. You can get the 1 1/4 inch trays. We got nowadays, I just get them off Amazon. I used to be able to go again to the hydroponic stores, but I haven't been able to find them there at the hydroponic stores like that in a while. The 2 inch trays, all day. Without holes, all day. I can find them at the hydroponic store. Nowadays I'm spending, so here you are right here on Amazon. Let's go straight to Bootstrap Farmer's website. These are little 10 by 10s here. So little 10 by 10, $34.99 for 10 trays. Over $10 a tray. Up to 60 trays if it's cheaper. $149. So you get these little 10 by 10s for $2.50 a tray. If you go this route, it's probably going to be your cheapest route here. But I mean, you probably don't need all these. You can go this way if you wanted to. It's $34.99 when you get 4. Yeah, so that makes it like $8.75 per tray. You could probably even go to Home Depot. I won't go to their website though. But you guys see, you can get away with doing this stuff for free. I'm just gonna go for giggles. I'm gonna see how much it is for the 10-20 tray. So $57.99. That's for 4, and the most they have is a 30 tray. Let's just start here, $139. Actually, we'll say $140, right? How many am I getting in this? 30 trays? So that's $460. Actually, $467 really, if you want to get crazy. That's with no holes. Is it any different? Yeah, same price. That's what you're looking at if you're going to get the inserts. The price has actually gone up. You can get the cheaper ones, which I'm looking for now. I think I've gotten rid of just about all the cheaper ones. But you can probably see them online. You actually know we use a lot of the cheaper ones down here. We use a lot of them just for our regular plant starts. Huh, maybe I got rid of all of them. Oh, here we go. Found one. So this is one of our more flimsy trays. We just this is way more flimsy. I don't know if you guys can tell that, if you can kind of see that. But these guys were right about $1 a piece. They might be a little bit more now. I haven't bought these in such a long time. I think they're right about $1 a piece now. The reason being they break fast. So that's why we don't really use them on the plot anymore. Pretty much all just been retired now for our cell trays like that. And that just goes for the things that we transplant here on the plot. We talked about trays, we talked about seed, we talked a little bit more about other little things. We talked about the medium lighting. Like I was saying before, we grow all of our microgreens outside. Therefore, we rely on the sunlight. That's here in California. However, if you don't get a lot of light, you can very easily just go to like your local hardware store or whatever. This is all I've ever really used, man. Get it from Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever, pretty much any local hardware store should have this, man. Sunflower loved them. You will, however, have to get the fixture for these, of course. These are like, again, it says it's like a T8. I found actually a lot of those fixtures on OfferUp, so dirt cheap. Yeah, you don't need very much. You can see we grow pretty much all of our microgreen trays on your standard like NSF racks. These ones hold 12, our bigger ones hold 20. And what you'll end up doing is just maybe hanging a couple light bulbs up here. Just regular fixtures, y'all. We're not taking anything to fruit here, right? And in fact, we're not even taking anything into full maturity. We're taking everything to right before your true leaf comes in, right? We're just looking for a full cone of leaning or baby leaves. That's what we take our microgreens to here. There's other people that will take them a little bit further, but that's about how far we take them here. All right, y'all, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope it helps, but stay tuned. My plan is for right now to be dropping a video one a week on each of the microgreens that we just forementioned, the 4 that we just forementioned. They may come sooner than that, but for right now, I'm planning on dropping one a week. The radish, broccoli, sunflower, and pea, we'll be doing each video on each one of those varieties. I figure it's better just to focus in on each variety, and that way we can get the most out of it. Hope it helps, man.